In this particular class, we are going to understand the how to create a pattern using the Python view. So let me show you like how the patterns look like. Okay, so this is the famous website is there, pythonnative.com. So so this in this particular website, this developer added almost 35 plus particular patterns. So we are going to see some 3 4 examples related to this particular patterns. And okay, so then you can practice all the particular patterns here. So already four also given, and different type of patterns are also given here. You can see there are in this only in the introduction only they have mentioned like there are all the particular patterns are there. Number patterns are there, triangle patterns are there, star pattern are there, pyramid, inverted pyramid is there, half pyramid is there, diamond is there, square is there, characters are there. So different types of patterns are there. So we'll go with the 3 4 examples, and then you can practice all these particular examples. Okay. So before that, okay, we'll understand how to draw any particular pattern. Okay, so these are the pattern we have. If I copy this particular pattern, so whenever you are drawing any type of particular pattern, these particular patterns are going to be divided into the rows and column. Means you can consider this is our particular one row, this is our second particular row, this is our third particular row, this is our fourth particular row. Similarly, each and every particular row again divided into some particular columns. You can consider this is a separate particular column is there. This is a separate particular column is there. Okay. Okay. So now whenever I wanted to draw these type of particular patterns, so here content may be anything. Maybe it is coming as a star, number, anything. Okay. So there are the fixed particular one steps are there. Okay. What are the fixed particular steps are there? There is a steps are 5 steps to draw any type of patterns. So here, this is a fixed things are. Okay. So what are the 5 steps are there? So whenever you are trying any particular pattern, so first of all, you should know how many rows are. This is the first point. Second point, you should know how many columns are. Third point, you should know what to pick. Means in this particular pattern, what I wanted to execute. Now you can see here there are, if I go to this particular website, there are some particular numbers are there. There is some particular star symbols are there. And if I again scroll down, numbers are there. Maybe somewhere ABCD will be there. Okay, you can see star symbols are there. You can see here some ABCDs are there. So what need to print here? This will be the third particular point. Fourth point. So how to print here? How to print? How to print means here you have to iterate. You have to iterate. Iterate means creating rows and columns. So how you going to create rows and columns? Using the nested loop. Means in the last classes we are using the nested if, means condition under the conditions. So similarly here what you have to do, you have to use the loop under the loop. Okay, you have taken loop inside of one more loop, inside of one more loop, like this. Means normally how directly we don't have the columns. So columns are going to be created inside of the rows here. If there is a no row, there will be no particular columns will be there. So here you should know like how to iterate. Okay, nothing but the creating the rows and columns, nothing but the using the nested loop. Fifth point is any space is required, any new line is required. Okay, or so this thing also you have to take care. You can see here new line means nothing but you can see here from this particular point this new line is starting here. Again in between that some space is required is said. In other particular patterns also you can see here, you can see again in middle some spaces are there. In first some particular spaces are there. Okay, if I go you can see here how the spaces sometimes spaces are increasing, decreasing order, arrow symbols are there. Now you can see triangle symbols are there. So there are different ways are there, like where you need the spaces, where you need the lines, all these things you have to measure. Clear this point? So these are the five steps are there. Using these particular five steps you can create any type of particular patterns. So let me save this. Now let's draw some particular patterns here. Okay, let me start with this simple first pyramid pattern. Let me copy this. Here I'm going to just copy number of things. Okay, so these things we need to draw. So first of all, okay, we should know like how many rows are there. So rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and columns also 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's create one particular for, let's take a reference variable as a r in. Okay, you have to take range of values. So I wanted to start with the 1 to 6. So if I print 1 to 6, okay, and just print r. So you can see here we can create the five particular rows are created, right? Now what are the next thing is there? I need to inside of the row I need to create the column. So here I'm taking for columns, I'm taking the reference variable as a column in range of rows. I wanted to iterate the row and then I wanted to create the column values. Okay, so just assume I wanted to just create the column values. Let's take column values. Okay, now I wanted to check how many columns are created. So now you can see here first it is printing 0, then it is printing 0 1. Means what it is actually doing here, when you start this particular iteration, okay, when you're starting these iterations, when you're starting the iterations, what you have done, you have written for r, let me copy this. So this is your code. Okay, okay. So when you're writing this particular code, so here first of all in this particular range, how many ranges are there? First one is going to print. Okay, first one range is going to print. So first one range is printing and this range is going to iterate here in this particular column. So what is going to iterate here? So C nothing but it will start from the here. So what is the one here? So here it will return like this for C in range of 1. First it will print 1. Now next what we have written? Print C we have written. Or we have written print C here. So when you write print C means range 1 means what it will get here. Now if I write here range 1 for C in range 1 and print C. So now only 0 will be printed. Now you can see here, that's why you can see this particular answer first it is iterating the only one particular column here, because only one particular range is came here. Now second point, what will happen, it will create the two particular range. Okay, this is the first iteration completed here. Here first iteration completed. Now second iteration is coming. Again what will happen here, again it will write for C in range of, okay, 2 will be there, and now it will print C here. Now you can see here, if I run this the same particular command, now you can see 0 1 is printed. Now you can see second one, you can see next 0 1 is printed. Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so first it is printing only 0, next it is printing 0 1, means how the rows are iterating here, the columns also increasing here, because it is creating a nested particular iterations here. So like this, these one by one particular iterations are coming. If I wanted to differentiate, you can write one new line for each and every row. Like this is my row area. Let me just write here one print some decoration line. And now if I run this, now you can see here, this is my first particular row iteration, second row iteration, third row iteration, fourth row iteration, and fifth row iteration. Like this, you can check whenever you're creating any particular nested loop, how this your particular loop is behaving here. Okay, and now if you check the execution part here, how many particular star symbols are there? 1, 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15 here. Okay, so when 15 is there, now if I wanted to count here, 1, 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Properly it is iterated, yes, no? Here also 15 is there, and here also we have same 15 is there. Now what I need to do, instead of printing the column values, I need to change this particular execution as a star symbol, because in the print whatever I write, it is going to be executed. So similarly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here same particular command. Okay, and here I'm going to mention the stars. Now once I run this, now you can see here these stars are printing here perfectly, right? But how actually I want, here this is the execution what I want. Okay, so here I just need to remove this particular extra lines, and then what I need here, I need the spaces in between them. To create the spaces, what I can do, I can use the escape sequence concept. So here you can use the end command we have already used in our first classes. And once I run this, now you can see here, it is coming the side by side. Okay, this new line is coming, right? So we don't want this particular new line. So just make it as a empty. Okay, so now you can see here, properly we are getting the execution. Clear this point?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now let's do some particular number related things. Let me copy this. Okay, now here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 are printing. So 1 2 3 4 5 is nothing but here what actually it is printing, it is printing the row values. You can see this is my first row, this is my second row, this is my third row, fourth row, fifth row, like this. So how you can write this same, you can write for r in range of, same thing, it is printing 1 to 6, and here I just need to iterate the column in the range of rows, and here what I need to print, I need to iterate the rows values, that's it. Okay, and just I need to print the new line. Okay, and each and every particular iteration I need the spaces, and now you can see here same thing, you can see 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 2 3 4 5, 2 3 4 5, 3 4 5. So rows are iterating here. This is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row, like this. Clear this point?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Okay, let's go with the one more particular example. Now, in this particular example, can you guess what actually it is printing here?
One, one, two, one, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so how it is like, how it is like row wise, column wise, how it is executing?
You have to like we have to create a loop like a row wise.
No, here it is printing column wise. Now you can see this is the first column, second column. Column numbers are printing here. Here rows numbers are
Uh,
printing. This is my first row, second
okay.
row. This is a third row, fourth row, fifth row. So here column, this is my first column. All you can see column values are printing here. You can see I'm in the second column, I'm in the third column, I'm in the fourth column, I'm in the fifth column, like this. Okay. So here for R in range of same thing 1 to 6 we have to take, and next for column in the range of rows. Okay, and print the column. So now if I print the column and if I write here 1 to 6, okay, so here 1 to 6 means 5 it will come. 5 means 0 to 4 it will print. I'll show you. Let me just write before end equals to space and new line. So now you can see it will start from the 0. Why? Because if you give the R value directly, here we have given the starting point, ending point, but here actually we are printing the column values. So if I directly write also, you can see here, if I directly write what is the R here, total 5 are there. And if I print C, so normally you can see it will start from the 0. So what we need to do, we need to change the starting point as a 1 here. So what I need to do here, I need to change the starting point as a 1. And you can see once I print this, it will start 1 from 1. But here I need to print the fifth value also. To print the fifth value again, we need to increase the one more particular increment. So now it will print the all the particular column values 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Clear?
Nice.
Now let's do one more example. Okay, let's go with this pattern. Okay, so now you can see there is a square pattern is there. In the square pattern, you can see same numbers are printing. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the rows values are printing, and similarly column values also printing. Are you getting my point? How many values are printing? Two values are printing. Rows values also printing and column values are printing. So here what we need to do, we need to use a two particular statement. Till now what we are doing, we are printing only one statement only. Clear this point?
Nice.
Okay. So now here we need to add some particular condition, like if any particular row wise are there. So here you can see if any row wise values are coming, then print the row. If row value is not there, then print the column. Clear this point? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, so two statements should be there. So here I'm going to write for row in the range of okay, I wanted to start 1 end with the 6 here, and same thing for column in the range of from 1 I wanted to start, and row plus 1 here, because I wanted to print all the particular columns values. And here I'm writing if this particular column is less than or equals to my particular row values, then simply print my particular row values. Otherwise print my particular column values. Okay. And to get the gap, we can mention the end equals to spaces, and here also end equals to spaces. And for extra new lines, we can write the print function and space. Simple. Now, if I run this particular run, you can see here, okay, so what is happening here? 1, 2, 3, 4 is printing, okay, but here second row is not increased here. Mm, so here, okay, so what I'll do, I have entered the manual things, right? So here, what I'll do, I'll create one particular variable, this as a number. I'll take 5 as a number, and instead of giving the random value, I'll write number plus 1, okay, and here also I'll write number plus 1. Okay, now let me run this. Now you can see here, now actual particular values are, because we have given the manually number, so it is doing the manual thing. But if I give store the value as a into one particular variable, now it is actually iterating with the particular value here. So first what will happen here, in the first particular range it is coming inside of the column, and if this particular column value is less than equals to r, yes, first it is printing the r value, nothing but row. So second row printing, third row printing, fourth row printing, print. Okay, then it is printing the column values now. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, no, let's okay, so you can practice the other particular patterns also. Okay, there are different patterns are there. Try to practice all the particular patterns, because most of the particular technical interviews also they'll ask you to draw any type of patterns. So I'm recommending all the particular patterns, whatever the numbers are there, alphabets are there, star symbols are there. So they have this particular developer mentioned 35. So practice all these particular patterns here. So then you'll get the idea like how the calculations are happening, how the conditions are written, okay, how the loop is particularly behaving. Okay. So now let's go to the next concept, that is the transfer statement. So in the transfer statement, we have three keywords are there: pass, continue, and break here. So what is the pass, what is continue, what is break? So whenever if I use this particular pass keyword, and if I add any conditions to any particular data set, then it will pass all the particular values of the data set. But instead of pass, if I use the continue, then whatever the condition I have added for this, for that any particular specific data, that data is going to be blocked. If I use the break keyword, then from that particular point, nothing is going to be executed. And whenever I use the break keyword, it will terminate the flow of that particular point. You can take an example like this, like just assume there is an Instagram contact is there. And if I add the particular continue, it means just assume there is a one particular contact is going to be blocked. And you can use the break as a block. Like if I block any particular person, the next person can able to send that particular messages, but I cannot able to receive the message. But data is there, but I am not receiving that. Let's take an example to understand. So here I'm going to use for I in range of something like 1 to 11, 1 to 10 values. And simply I'm adding the condition, if this I is reaches to something value number 5, pass it and just print my particular I value. So now you can see here all the values are printing perfectly. There is no restrictions I added. I have just passed it. But instead of pass, if I add continue, then what will happen? You can see after the 4, 6 is coming, 5 is not coming. So 5 is going to block. Similarly, if I just mention one more particular something like, or I is reaches to 7, again continue. Okay, so you can see here 5 is not there and 7 also not there. So whenever you mention the continue, that particular specific value is going to be blocked. I'm going to write something like I equals to 1 is there. Okay, so now you can see here there is a no 1. You can starting from the 2. Why? Because 1 is going to flow. Clear this point? Yes, no. Now similarly, if I mention
So
here break,
this continue is related to the for loop, so it will skip the for loop.
yeah, so it will skip only one particular condition, particular value here, not all the particular value. Whatever the condition we have added, that particular
Mhm.
condition is going to block, not all the particulars. You can see here, if I mention 5, 5 is going to block. If I mention 7, 7 is going to block. If I mention 1, 1 is going to block.
Okay.
Okay, so that particular iteration it will ignore. Now if I use the break and run this, now you can see here, once the 5 coming, nothing is going to be executed. It will terminate that particular, all the particular flow. Same thing if I mention something 3 here, and if I'm writing break, so here, okay, so you can see 1 is printing, 2 is printing. Once 3 is coming, nothing is going to be executed. So pass means you're passing the values. Continue means you're adding only the specific restriction. Break means completely you're terminating that particular block. Clear this point?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So, like, what is the difference between pass and, I mean, yeah, continue will block that thing, but then how
Use
do
of the,
you
yeah,
use?
pass normally it is used to just create any particular, like I wanted to create a functionality where I don't wanted to add any defining area. If I'm creating some particular empty blocks, there also I can use the pass.
Okay.
Okay, means there is a nothing is there. I just wanted to pass that particular area. So on that particular purposes, we use the pass. Most of the time, like when you're writing the classes, in the classes when we're writing methods, normal particular functionals also, sometimes we just need to declare it, and later if I wanted to define that particular code area, simply on that time what we do, we can mention the pass, and then it will be keep only like that only. Sometimes we use for the declaration purposes also. Defining areas will not be there. So on that time we use the pass particular keyword also. And if I don't wanted to add the restrictions also, I wanted to continue the flow of the program also, there also I can use the pass particular keyword. So mostly when we write the backend part, Django related thing, classes related thing, this pass keyword is going to be used. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. So as of now, practice all these particular loop examples. So tomorrow we'll go with the functions concept. Okay.